Hello guys, welcome back Hot Movies. Today I will recap the movie 365 Days, which was released in 2020. The movie begins with a woman alone in her room performing activities that give her pleasure because her lover is busy with work and has no time for her. She is lonely and needs to find pleasure. Laura is a stunning and professional luxury hotel sales director. Laura's private life, on the other hand, lacks passion. Laura's boyfriend is too preoccupied with his career to be concerned about what she feels. Laura with her best friend goes on a vacation to Sicily to restore her relationship. Laura was set to turn 29 on this night. Laura was embarrassed when her boyfriend sung her a birthday song in the open. Soon a bottle of champagne arrived, which everyone assumed was a hotel gift. In truth, a man lurked in the shadows, watching Laura. Laura then turned around and stumbled into an attractive guy as she strolled through the garden. Laura didn't think anything was amiss, even though everything appeared to be planned. Laura was conversing with her friend the next day, and it was Laura's birthday. However, her boyfriend had been traveling alone without Laura. For Laura's birthday, he just brought her a souvenir card. Laura became enraged and pushed her boyfriend into the water. Laura is so unhappy that she is confused and helpless when it comes to love. Laura's eyes welled up with tears of regret. She was wandering alone in an alley in the evening when she got lost. The next thing she knew, she was being pursued and kidnapped. Laura arose from her sleep and found herself in an unfamiliar bed. She attempted to flee and discovered she was being held kidnapped. Soon after, the door to her room was opened and she dashed out. She came to a halt when she entered an unfamiliar area and noticed a huge picture of herself hanging on the wall. Laura spun around and ran into the attractive man she had met earlier that day at the hotel. It turned out that this man had orchestrated everything. Massimo's family controls every industry in Sicily, making them the most powerful mafia in the area. 5 years ago, Massimo and his father were on a business meeting on the beach when he saw Laura lounging out on the beach from his binoculars and fell in love at first sight. Massimo's father rejected the other party's offer and was murdered by them. Massimo was shot at the same time as his father and collapsed into a pool of blood. Massimo was unconscious, but pictures of his father and Laura kept flashing through his mind. Laura's image tormented Massimo for years. Massimo takes over his father's business and set out to find Laura. He had a sense he'd see Laura again until Massimo met her at the airport. He instantly planned the kidnapping when the girl of the dreams he had stood in front of him. Massimo gave her 365 days for falling in love with him, and if she did not do so within that time frame, he would let Laura go. Simultaneously, he showed photos of Laura's boyfriend engaging in an affair and left notes for all of Laura's close friends. Laura, clearly stunned, is clearly not ready to accept a strange man's unexpected approach. Massimo does not force Laura to fall in love with him right now. Laura had no option but to agree after he gave her some time to think over it. Laura also tried to flee again and again. Massimo's family is the most influential on the island, so she couldn't flee at all. Laura had no choice than to approach Massimo gently, because police couldn't help her either. Massimo, being the boss, planned everything for Laura. They had breakfast, dinner, and went shopping. He'll do whatever Laura wants as long as she doesn't flee. Massimo asked that Laura show him how to be gentle. He also knew that Laura would fall in love with him. Laura called her family members to inform them that she was safe and sound when she got back her phone. Laura is over her former relationship and she has a slight change of heart after she meets Massimo, who is genuinely and passionately in love with her. Laura gradually came to accept him through their ongoing closeness and experiments. One day Massimo drove Laura on a business trip. Laura enters Massimo's room while shackled to the bed, and he takes enjoyment in her presence and teases her. In the present situation, his logic wins over his desires. Laura's sentiments, though, were already in chaos. Laura then went to a business party with Massimo. Laura was the show's star, dressed so attractively. Massimo's partner has eyes on Laura and tries to take advantage of her. However, he arrives right on time to protect her and, before saying anything, he pulls out a gun and breaks the peace. Massimo gets criticized by the staff for the things he did for Laura, which was ready to spark a feud between the two families. Laura received criticism and fought with Massimo. Massimo jumps into the sea and rescues her right as she falls into it in a fit of emotion. Laura apologized to Massimo when she awoke, and Laura couldn't contain her intense desire and affection for the man who treasured her. more than his life. Both of them then embarked on a sexual journey. You may well imagine what transpired. Laura started to accept Massimo at that point. Laura's mood progressively improved while her attitude toward Massimo changed. Laura dressed up one day to go with Massimo to a ball. Massimo, a local celebrity, catches the attention of the media. Later on the dance floor, they ran into Massimo's ex-girlfriend Anna. Anna had been hearing a lot about Laura, but she had no idea that Laura actually was staying with Massimo. Anna's family holds significant influence in the area. Massimo and Anna were intended to be the ideal couple and partners, but when Laura got on the island, Massimo and Anna split up. Massimo told everything to Laura after Anna had departed. They then returned to the hotel and had sex. Massimo had to deal with some family disputes created by Laura's prior issues, so he planned for Laura to return to her country for a few days, and arranged for Laura to move into another home. When Laura attempted to contact Massimo, she discovered that he was unavailable. Laura became concerned since she didn't know exactly what to do, so she came to her best friend Olga and informed her what had happened. There's never a shortage of topics to discuss with best friends. Laura brags about her new lover Massimo, who is wealthy, powerful, well-built, and attractive, and has everything Laura desires. They became drunk while talking, and then Laura said that Massimo was the Mafia, and that he was overly aggressive in everything he did. Massimo plans everything for her, and is unconcerned about her feelings. Olga advised Laura to end the relationship and leave Massimo. Perhaps this is what perfect friends are all about. They were bored and chose to go out and have some fun, on the spur of the moment. Laura received a phone call, while Olga was taking her to get her hair styled. Massimo, it turns out, secretly purchased Laura's luxurious hotel and gifted it to her. And so the two of them were truly having a good time, relaxing and having fun. Laura and Olga went out to get drunk at a nightclub. They happened to run into Laura's ex-boyfriend Martin. Martin told Laura everything that had occurred to him in Sicily, but she didn't want to hear it. She'd had enough of his ordinary life for quite some time. Martin followed Laura all the way back to her place. Massimo, on the other hand, was already waiting for Laura, but when he spotted Massimo, he went away. Laura then approached and slapped Massimo across the face. Massimo's sudden leaving frightened her since she began to hate him for his selfishness and carelessness. However, there is no emotional dispute that cannot be resolved in a single sex session. If there is, double it by 2. Laura caressed Massimo's bullet wound after having sex and felt sorry for him. Laura stated that she did not require 365 days, given that she was already in love with Massimo, and she therefore accepted Massimo's proposal. Massimo met Laura's parents during a friend's wedding. When her parents questioned what Massimo did for a living, he replied them he was a gangster. Laura's parents were also quite open, and while there was some embarrassment, they accepted their daughter Laura's decision. Massimo brought back her to Sicily, and Laura invited her best friend Olga to the island to help her organize her wedding. They went for a walk that day, and Laura told Olga about the news that she was expecting. Olga was startled that anything had happened, and they were now debating whether or not to inform Massimo. Laura then went to try on bridal gowns. Domenico, Massimo's helper, grew fond of Olga, and her best friend's love was on the way. Olga hugged Laura since she noticed how lovely she looked in her wedding gown. They are now on the way home. Massimo's uncle, on the other hand, received information that Massimo's ex-girlfriend, Anna, was preparing to kill Laura. He attempts to alert Massimo of the news, but discovers that Massimo's phone is always busy. Laura is currently on the phone with Massimo, attempting to inform him of her pregnancy. Laura's car entered a tunnel and her cell phone coverage was lost at the key moment. Massimo frantically called Laura's name. Massimo didn't understand anything had occurred to Laura until his uncle arrived, in a rush. He crumbled and dropped to his knees, heavily breathing. A police car pulled up to the tunnel. But no one knows if Laura is alive or dead. And the movie ends here. There is a second part of this movie, and we will explore it together next time.